Succah Daf. How are you all doing? Today's email comes from Shmuel Kogus. I would rather write anonymously, but as there are no secrets in MDY, my name is Shmuel Kogus. I currently live in Haverstraw, New York, near Mark Ashkenazi. I am primarily a YouTuber, but usually Motzi Shabbos I have the opportunity to be on Zoom. I started here in Shabbos while working nights on the paramedic truck, turned on to you by my chavrusa and dear big brother Reb Yaakov Spill of Chicago. I've never been very studious, and sitting through a shiur class is very difficult to say the least. This is the first shiur that I've been able to truly follow and focus on. Your explanations and demonstrations are phenomenal and truly original. Thank you. While I wish you said more shiurim daily, I enjoy listening to shiur more than once a day, and I went back to the beginning of brachas and started over. My girls asked to listen to shiur while in the car and compete to see who can do a better good morning, Rabbi Isai, bowing to your greatness. Whew. Shmuel Kogus. Thank you, Shmuel. Succah Daf Vav. As we said the other day, that according to Rabbi Yehuda, shiurim, the shiurim, kazayis, revius, chatzitza when you go to the mikvah, and mechitzim, which are mechitzas, are all halacha l'Moshe Sinai. They're not in the Torah. Moshe Rabbeinu received it from HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And as the Gemara says, we're able to find a pasuk in the Torah that's an asmachta that gives us something to lean on. The famous pasuk, Eretz Chita Usaira, V'gefen Uteina Rimar, describing the Shivas Hamidim. Eretz Shemen Udvash. These are all fruits from Eretz Yisrael that are given to give us shiurim. Each one of these fruits represents a shiur. Chita, wheat, is if a person goes into a house of tzaras and he's holding clothing in his hands, shoes, they all become tummy immediately, he and all his clothing. But if he's wearing clothing, that clothing that he's wearing doesn't become tummy until he's in the house enough time to eat a half a loaf of bread, but not just any bread. And here's the shiur of wheat bread. And he has to be leaning comfortably, and he's eating it with lifta and things that you eat together with bread. Sa'ira barley is the halacha that if you have a bone the size of a barley, bone of a dead person, it's metama, makes you tummy if you touch it, or if you lift it and you're not really touching it, but you're lifting, let's say, a plate. But when it comes to tumas oil, that you're in the same room as a mace, you need most of the bones, or you have the skull, or the entire spine. Gefen, grape, is to teach us that for a nazir he has to drink a revius of wine. Te'ena, a fig, gregeres, that's the size for when you take things out on Shabbos from one rishus to another yoiva. Remind, pomegranate, is if you have a private kli, it's mekabel tuma until it has the size that could fit a pomegranate. Zayis, which is an olive, most of the shiurim in the Torah is zayis. When it comes to the dead person, and nevela, chelav, dam, etc. Dvash means a date, and that is the shiur that you're not allowed to eat on Yom Kippur, is kekuseves hagasa, a nice juicy date. The idea of chatzitza is the eraisa. It says in the pasuk v'rochatz es besori b'mayim, that the water has to touch all of the flesh. And the eraisa, even here, is chaytzitz. Halacha Moshe Rabbeinu says the only time you have chatzitza is when you have two conditions: that it's a most of your body and you're makpid. You don't want that on your body. But let's say you have most of your body and you're not makpid, or partial part of your body and you're makpid, midrabanan you are asur. That is a chatzitza. But we're not geyser the step underneath that. That is, if you have partial body which you are not makpid, because that is considered a gzeira to a gzeira. The idea of mechitza is halacha l'Moshe Sinai according to Reb Meir, meaning the mechitza of good asik, that the mechitzas go up, or mechitzas go downwards, good achis, lavud, that if anything less than 3 tefachim is considered closed, and doiva akuma, as we had the other day, a bent wall. According to Rabbi Yehuda, even the mechitza of 10 tefachim for a sukkah and Shabbos is also halacha l'Moshe Sinai. Reb Meir learns that from a pasuk, as we said the other day. The Mishnah says, if a sukkah doesn't have 3 walls, it's possible. According to the Tanakama, 2 walls have to be 7 tefachim, shtayim kilchasam, ushlishis, and the third one is a tefach. And Reb Shimon says, the third one, 3 are kilchasam, they all have to be 7 tefachim, and the 4th one is a tefach. And the Gemara gives us 5 options in the machlokes, 5 different ways to learn the machlokes. It says in the pasuk, besukos. But if you look at it, it says it besukos. So according to Chachamim, yesh aim le'masayres. We say it, we use it as we read it. So therefore, you have a total of 4 sukkahs, and one of them is for the actual mitzvah sukkah. So we're left with 3, and that teaches us shtayim kilchasam and shlishis tefach, 2 regular sized walls and the third one at tefach. Reb Shimon says yesh aim lemikra. It's the way we read it. That's total of 6. One whole pasuk goes for the mitzvah sukkah. We're left with 4. Shalish kilchasam, revi's tefach. Another way to learn is that according to everybody, yesh aim lemikra. So we're going to have total of 6. 1 we take out for the mitzvah. We're left with 4. Chachamim say you need 1 for the schach. So we're left with 3 walls, and the third wall is only a tefach. Reb Shimon says you don't need a pasuk for schach. Therefore, we're left with 4 walls, and the 4th one is going to be a tefach. The third option is that according to everybody, yesh aim le'masayres, it's the way it's written. So total amount of sukkahs in the Torah, 4. 1 we take away for the mitzvah itself. According to Chachamim, the halacha of Menachem Sinai comes to take off. So the shlishi, the third wall, is only going to be a tefach. According to Reb Shimon, the halacha of Menachem Sinai comes to add. It says in addition to the 3 walls, you need a 4th one that is a tefach. 4th way to learn is that according to everybody, yesh aim le'masayres, we only have 4. Halacha of Menachem Sinai takes 1 off. But according to Reb Shimon, you could learn from the first word. The first word, sukkahs. So you have 4 sukkahs. The halacha of Menachem Sinai takes off 1. That means that the 4th one will be only a tefach. 3 regular walls, the 4th one a tefach. Chacham say we don't learn from the first word. In Benmeleh, they're left with shtayim kilchasam and shlishis tefach. And finally, the 5th way to learn is that Reb Shimon learns from a different pasuk. V'sukkah tia letzel yoimam mechorev l'michsel l'mistar mezerem u'mimatar. HaKadosh Baruch Hu in the future is going to make us a sukkah to protect us from all the elements. The only way a sukkah can protect you from all the elements is if you have 4 walls. And therefore, Reb Shimon holds that you need 4 walls. Shalish kilchasam, revi'is, afilu tefach. Have a wonderful day.